Okay, quiet on set and in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, music, 5, 4, 3, 2, take 2.
Welcome to this week's Norman News. I'm Noelle Trost.
And I'm Bennett Gershwin. Stay tuned for news on Spirit Week.
And more news on the Women's March.
Hey everyone, I'm the one and only Jacob Urbanian, serving it up with this week's sports.
I'm Sophia Martin. Stay tuned for the glitz and glam of Hollywood and this week's new movie clip.
Around the school in 30 minutes,
this is the Norman News.
Coming to 5.
Well, Secretary DeVos, if you thought Donald Trump's inauguration was historical, let me tell you about the Women's March that occurred the next day. On January 21st, Saturday of last week, women from all walks of life gathered internationally to have their voices heard in light of the blatant sexism and disrespect President Donald Trump displayed throughout the campaign cycle. However, this walk did not just encompass women. According to their mission statement, immigrants, Muslims, those of diverse religious faiths, the LGBTQIA community, Native people, Black and Brown people, people with disabilities, survivors of sexual assault, and other marginalized groups were welcome to come march in solidarity. Sister marches took place all the way from Britain to Australia, from France to Africa, from Antarctica to our very own LA, where there was an estimated 7,500,000 who showed up to march. The next day, Donald Trump tweeted, "Peaceful protests are the hallmark of our democracy. Even if I don't always agree, I recognize the rights of people to express their views. How cute that our president is reassuring us of his knowledge of the First Amendment right." But of course, this appeared only after he tweeted, "Watched protests yesterday, but was under the impression we just had an election. Why didn't these people vote? Slubs hurt cause badly," whatever that means. Perhaps someone should send a memo to the Donald Trump Public Relations Management team that instead of posting an expression of his disagreement but consent, some sort of reassurance that our voices will not be ignored, and if he can bear it, an apology should be posted instead. And now to Eva with health news.
Thanks, Noelle. The doctor's advice hasn't changed much, but it's still so unsatisfying. You should not use cotton swabs to clean your ears. Updated clinical guidelines say they are not appropriate for earwax removal. Regardless, most of us hoard a stash of the soft-tipped paper sticks because they seem so perfectly suited to do the job. The authors of the guidelines are giving an explanation as to why not. Cotton swabs and other objects some of us love to put in our ears can cause cuts in our ear canals, perforate our eardrums, and dislocate our hearing bones, which can lead to hearing loss, dizziness, ringing, or other symptoms of ear injury. Instead, most people can just let nature do its job. Our bodies produce earwax to keep our ears clean and protected. It's not a bad thing to have earwax in your ears. Everybody does and should. It's more of an issue when it becomes too much, Dr. Seth Schwartz said. If you have symptoms such as pain, drainage, bleeding, or hearing loss, then you have a problem and should consult your doctor. Otherwise, your body has it covered. And now to Bennett with more news.
Thanks, Eva. Do you have school spirit? Or are you a bad person? Well, it's time to put your money where your mouth is, or give it to charity. Monday, January 30th through Friday, February 3rd, it's Wish Week, yo. During this week, it's Spirit Week for the winter sports, dedicated to raising money for the Make-A-Wish Foundation. There's going to be loads of fundraising opportunities, so keep your eyes peeled and your wallets open, and your hearts opener. And now to Leo with his most recent story.
Breaking news. President Trump has issued a statement claiming that he will move federal forces into the city of Chicago. Last year, nearly 700 people in Chicago, Illinois died as a result of civilian violence. However, already in the 26 days of January in 2017, 30 people are confirmed dead as a result of shootings. This is already a 24% increase compared to last year. Obama never took action as Chicago's Mayor Emanuel Rahm refused federal aid. Trump, however, is taking what seems to be effective action as he's soon to send federal forces into the city of Chicago. Now to Jake, Adam, and Thomas with sports news.
Thanks, Leo. Not much of a surprising game this Sunday. Big Ben and his Steelers took on the New England Patriots in Boston. Patriots started the game off hot as usual and kept progressing. A big loss for the Steelers, losing running back Le'Veon Bell. Patriots ended up winning the game 36-17, advancing to the Super Bowl 51. And now to Adam with more sports news.
Thanks, Jake. MLB is mourning the loss of Yordane Ventura. He passed away Sunday morning in the Dominican Republic after getting into a car crash. Ventura was a major success in baseball, having won the World Series in 2015 for Kansas. He was significant for the team as everyone looked up to him at only 25. 4 months ago on a Sunday, at almost the same time, Jose Fernandez passed on a Sunday after a boating accident. The two baseball stars will be missed. And now to Jake with more sports news.
Thanks, Adam. This is what it's all about. All the marbles. People who don't even watch football will always watch this game. Super Bowl 51. The Atlanta Falcons and the New England Patriots will play in Houston to determine who wants it more. Can a hot Matt Ryan offense beat Tom Brady and the Patriots? I guess we will have to wait and see. And now to Thomas with more sports news.
Thanks, Jake. Well, there you have it. The Atlanta Falcons will be going to the Super Bowl to face the New England Patriots. I must say I'm very excited to watch this game. I think that the Atlanta Falcons will come out on top because of their ability to score on offense, regardless of who they're playing. Although the game won't be a blowout like the NFC Championship, I think the Falcons' defense is key because if they can come out and stop Tom Brady, or at least slow him down, they have a real chance to win it all.
So, Adam, you heard my story. You heard Thomas's story. Atlanta Falcons and the New England Patriots in the Super Bowl. What do you think?
Well, Jake, I'm going to have to go with the Atlanta Falcons.
Atlanta Falcons. Why is that?
Julio Jones and Matt Ryan,
Okay.
that pair, I just see them. I see Julio getting 2 touchdowns, at least 100 yards, and I just see them outpowering Tom Brady.
That's understandable. I think Tom Brady is going to be a great impact. He has this experience. He looks good right now.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Hogan's looking good. All their
right.
wide receivers are looking good. I think their coaching will overpower the unexperienced Atlanta Falcons, though.
We'll see.
We'll see what happens. And now let's send it to Leo with some tech.
Thanks, guys. Samsung has finally released the results of the investigation it commissioned into finding out exactly what went wrong with the Galaxy Note 7. If you don't remember the explosive news surrounding the product, the Note 7 had to be pulled from the market last year after widespread reports of fires caused by the device. The company says there were separate flaws in the 2 different Galaxy Note 7 batteries. The first battery had a design flaw in the upper right corner that could cause a short circuit, according to Recode. The second battery that was used for the replacement units had a manufacturing issue that could lead to fires because of a welding defect. Samsung conducted an investigation with 700 dedicated staff, testing 200,000 different phones and 30,000 extra batteries. Samsung also commissioned 3 outside firms, and they ended up finding very similar results. We will see what Samsung has up their sleeves for their Galaxy Note 8 and if they will be able to make up for their disastrous mistake. And now to Leo with some more news.
Thanks, Noah. Breaking news, journalist Edward Klein claimed on his website that some Clinton insiders had hinted at making a comeback in 2020. After President Trump's historic win over Clinton, Clinton has been relatively quiet after the results of this section, especially with Hillary and Bill living in different homes. Bill in New York City and Hillary in Chappaqua, New York. Hillary Clinton may be taking time and planning a comeback in the 2020 election against President Trump. Whether the source is authentic has yet to be determined. What is for sure, though, is that thousands of people are now flooding the internet with their tags Hillary 2020. However, with Hillary at the age of 69 and her health being questioned, the possibilities of this happening may be slimmer than we think. And now to Sophia with entertainment news.
Thanks, Leo. Who run the world? That is right, girls do. On Saturday, following Trump's inauguration, women, men, and everyone in between came together to march against Trump's administration in the name of women's rights. An estimated 2.9 million people came together in cities including Washington, D.C., Chicago, New York, Los Angeles, London, and Barcelona in order to protest. It comes as no surprise that some of Hollywood's hottest were all over the world to speak and perform with the protesters. Some of the stars include Miley Cyrus, Madonna, Michael Stipe, Green Day's Billie Joe Armstrong, Grimes, Sir Ian McKellen, and Pearl Jam. Katy Perry has since spoken out through her social media to tell everyone, "For a long time, I misunderstood the true definition of being a feminist, but now that I know, I am empowered. I am indisputably a feminist." And what is a feminist, you may ask? A feminist is an advocate for social, political, legal, and economic rights for women equal to those of men. Now, let's send it to Yasmin with some news on Shia LaBeouf.
Thanks, Sophia. Just when you thought Shia LaBeouf could not outdo himself, he always delivers. On Inauguration Day, Shia LaBeouf set up a live stream featuring him with a group of teenagers monotonously chanting, "He will not divide us." They stared hauntingly into the camera, which is placed on a wall outside the Museum of the Moving Image in New York, reciting the phrase over and over again. Actor Jaden Smith was seen on the live stream, reciting the 5-word chant along with the other protesters. The camera has been in place since 9 a.m. Eastern Time on Friday. A website for the movement says the camera will be available and will live stream for the next 4 years, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you want to visit the website, and I highly recommend that you do, type in hewillnotdivide.us. And now back to Sophia with this week's movie review.
Thanks. The long-awaited 20th Century Woman has hit theaters this week and is a must-see. In 1979, Santa Barbara, California, Dorothy Fields is a determined single mother in her mid-50s who is raising her adolescent son Jamie at a moment brimming with cultural change and rebellion. Dorothy enlists the help of 2 younger women, Abby, a free-spirited punk artist living as a boarder in the Fields' home, and Julie, a savvy and provocative teenage neighbor, to help with Jamie's upbringing. With a 90% on Rotten Tomatoes and starring Annette Bening, Elle Fanning, and Lucas Jade Zuman, you should head down to see this one. But for right now, grab some popcorn, sit back, relax, and enjoy this week's new movie clip.
We are at a turning point in our history. As you know, there is a growing disrespect for government. It is a crisis of confidence. We can see this crisis in the growing doubt about the meaning of our own lives and in the loss of a unity of purpose for our nation. We always believed that we were part of a great movement of humanity itself, involved in the search for freedom. We've always believed that the days of our children would be better than our own. But we've discovered that owning things and consuming things does not satisfy our longing for meaning.
Wow, he is so screwed.
It's over for him.
I thought that was beautiful. Stop.
What? Thinking that you know everything that's going on.
No, I don't. I just think that, having your heart broken is a tremendous way to learn about the world.
I see the shapes I remember from maps. I see the shore.
This is the really hard part, and then it gets better. And then it gets hard again. Do you think you're happy?
Seriously? Look, wondering if you're happy, it's a great shortcut to just being depressed.
Thanks, Sophia. President Trump's inauguration speech has been a major topic of discussion since its delivery on January 20th. Many people are excited for Trump's direct promises to buy American for American. Yet, what I found jarring was the populist undertones that radiated throughout the speech. For those who are unaware of what populism is, it is a political style of action in which the neglected, forgotten population fights back against the out-of-touch, corrupt elites in government. Sound familiar? Many times throughout his speech, Trump spoke of giving the power of government back to the people and out of the hands of the politicians who refuse to share the wealth. Trump's chief strategist Steve Bannon praised Trump's speech, saying that there hasn't been such a patriotic speech since Andrew Jackson's. If that was supposed to make me feel better, God help me. And now to Bennett with more news.
Thanks, Yasmin. We're getting Comic-Con, folks. On January 7th, East Los Angeles was locked in to be the venue for our very own Comic-Con. A lot of people are surprised. Not many were expecting it. But no one is unhappy. East LA Comic-Con plans to put the spotlight on independent creators from the greater Los Angeles area. Saturday, May 20th at the El Gallo Plaza. Get ready, folks. And now to Noel with some news on a space-themed gallery.
Thanks, Bennett. As humans largely constricted to the limitations of our own planet, space has never failed to amaze and inspire us endlessly. Lucky for us, the National Art Society is hosting a space-themed gallery in room 252 off the second floor patio. A large variety of mediums for this gallery can be accepted this year, including architecture, paintings, sculptures, drawings, and ceramics. In order to submit your piece, attach a message including your name, phone number, grade, and art title to Mr. Fetterman in room 251 by Tuesday, January 31st. The gallery will take place Friday, February 17th, so even if you don't submit your own work, you can still come and support our very talented student artists.
With President Trump's announcement of his defense of Israel, Jerusalem Deputy Meir Turgreman had announced the development of 566 new settlements in East Jerusalem, areas like Pisgat Ziv, Ramat Shlomo, and Ramot. They had originally stopped plans for construction due to the UN decision finding them illegal, which infuriated Israel. It was a historic low for the relations between the U.S. and Israel when Obama chose not to veto the decision. Now things are different with Obama gone. Trump's pro-Israeli rhetoric is like a green light for them to build the settlements. Prime Minister Netanyahu had a phone call with Trump the other day and described it as pleasant, with the two sharing similar ideas. However, one of Trump's aides stated that there would need to be negotiations with both parties. The two leaders are scheduled to meet at an undecided date on February. Now let's send it back to the anchor.
Thanks for tuning in.
That's all for this week.
Stay tuned next week for more Norman News.